What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Civilization 5 Scandinavia AI only battle. We have our final showdown set. We're going to give them 25 turns to rebuild, particularly for Finland, and then unless they go to war before then, but if they do not, then it will begin. Now I believe Sami is embargoed, so they still might not be dependent on each other for trade. In fact, Sami is trying to embargo Finland, which should fail because Finland has more votes. But I do see, is that a 25% increase in cost for units? There is a unit maintenance extra cost, which has probably saved us from the, the usual whole map being full of unit spam. Obviously increasing the cost of units by 25%, probably a good move. And that will definitely eat into them, especially when they're not trading. Even with each other, that limits both of their abilities to make gold. I feel like they might unembargo that one. They might reopen trade. But anyway, regardless of that, turn 510 is the magic number. That if they have not gone to war by then, we'll force them to. That hopefully gives Finland adequate time. I feel like most of these cities are big. They can rebuild to what was their sort of upper limit of units pretty quickly. Sami is number one in everything. I believe literacy they're tied though, so that's not too much of a concern. Yeah, I mean, I think Finland maybe has more valuable territory than, say, some of the tundra tiles. Although saying that, Protestantism was geared towards the tundra, so maybe not the case. There we go, 20 turns now, Finland. I don't know who to are either of them. I'm trying to keep out who should get to go. Well, not who goes first, but who declares who. I feel like Sami should be the attacker, but we saw Finland have just secretly managed to grab all the capitals. They own every capital apart from the Sami capital. So, in terms of domination victory, Finland is actually significantly closer. But whether they have the ability to win this game or not is different. A big thing to note is Sami has more cities that are cut off and sort of enclaved within the Finland Empire. I don't know whose advantage that is, like, really, because, this force here is going to cause Finland issues, right? Having these troops, and the atomic bomb threat is obviously there as well. Finland may get their own nuke. They don't have any as of yet, but they now have Estonia's uranium supply, wherever that was, so they will be able to build at least a couple themselves. This city again, yeah, but like these units, I don't know, they're going to cause Finland issues, but they are cut off, they are stranded. Whereas Finland, every city is connected to their empire. There's a few sort of blobs of Sami cities in between. I don't know, I feel like it may distract Finland from the front line early on. Maybe Sami will make some progress here, but once Finland wraps up these cities, they're going to then head north with everything, and it will be a sort of clash of the Titans. 14 turns, that is, it's flying through still. Okay, hopefully it works. I am a bit concerned, but hopefully it will work. I would love to see who is what in soldiers, but I guess we could turn on the who's winning pop-up and just hope that, it's soldiers. It's like a 1 in 10 or however many possibilities there are, so it's probably unlikely to show me soldiers, but it can't hurt. Hopefully it is soldiers, and it's not actually the same soldiers as the one in the info addicts or the demographics, I believe, so it's not particularly super useful, but we try our best. I wonder if Sami would pull the trigger before there seems to be open borders between the two, which is going to make things even more complicated. We didn't even get the pop-up, so that's great. Just didn't work. We will see. Warsaw is now, every city is now at full health. Everything's been repaired by the look of it, apart from maybe this city, which Sami are finally sending a worker down towards, but it took them a bit longer. There's just random tanks just driving around. Giant death robots walking through the fields. What a world we've created. What a dystopian Scandinavia we've created here. We will we'll see how it goes, but there we go. 7 turns. If they're not going to do it themselves, ooh, it's getting exciting. There's a lot of giant death robots for Finland. They could have built nukes the whole time. I'm just thinking about Finland just founded a religion. Oh my god, took them long enough. Bit late. Helsinki didn't even convert to the new religion. I think they founded Catholicism, and it is there, but it's 13 followers. Imagine they turned it around. That'd be pretty cool. Straight in with the Reformation beliefs. I think it's a bit late, but it would be kind of cool. But here we go. Giant death robots. All stacked up. There's 3 here at least. They are pretty strong melee units. I can see another one there. I know the Sami had one. At least one. I'm sure they have more, but where that might be now, I have no idea. That could be anywhere. I probably won't spot it, even if it did show up on the screen. But, yeah, no, I'm not seeing it there. But, that's fine. Not an issue. I'm sure it's around, or maybe it died trying to conquer a city or something, and then they rebuilt it as something else. I feel like nuclear non-proliferation did pass at one point, so maybe it's not showing up here, so maybe it just got revoked. Everyone wanted to build nukes again. It doesn't seem like there's a huge amount of uranium, and most of it is going into giant death robots, not nukes. I can see, I think Sami had 4 nukes. I think 3 we've seen now. They moved, that didn't help. I think I can see 3, maybe there's one more somewhere. And Finland doesn't have any, as far as I'm aware, although, yeah, it seems like Finland's focused on the death robots, which is an interesting way of doing it. I think it could work in their favour as well, and if you think about it in the long haul of this war. I mean, it just depends what you get more output out of, right? Destroying one city. And yeah, Sami's units are not concentrated. There's nowhere. A naval nuke might be your best shout to do a lot of damage, and I'm not sure these boats will be contributing for a while till they sail the whole way around. So I'd say, like, nuke-wise, I mean, Helsinki would be like a place to nuke. So maybe both of them have actually got their own strategies correct. I mean, actually here would be nukeable. This is the sort of city you'd want to hit, get a lot of units, but for the most part, giant death robots may actually work for Finland, just because Sami's cities are pretty exposed. I've actually gone 3 turns past where I was supposed to do it, so I'll give them till 515, just because we like a nice round number. Give Finland every little chance, you know, give them a chance here, come on. Sami's meant to be pretty OP apparently, so let's hope Finland gets close. I'm not going to work out the average, but obviously I'm at 38. Actually, we probably could, right? If you mathematically did this, you could work it out, but so it's that plus that. So 1.09 plus 40k, so that's 1.13 million divided by 3 plus something else divided by 3 equals 660, which should be about 500 and something thousand. So maybe Finland might be outnumbered 2 to 1 if I'm doing the maths right there, which is a little scary for Finland, but hopefully my maths is failing us somehow and I'm not working that out correctly. But yeah, if the average is 600,000, then it's 660k. It's likely that Finland's is still quite significantly outnumbered. But here we go. I'm going to save just because this doesn't tend to go well. Scandinavia, AI only. Here we go. In-game editor. Take over as... We are going to declare on Sami's behalf, because they've been the mean civ for most of the game. Declare war to Finland. Done. Can I do anything else cool? Just make peace, form team. I don't know how this form team works when there's no... I don't actually know what that does, because there's no teams. Like, it's not a team game, and there's no break team either. Sign friendship. Max flag city state as liberated. Set embargo. Denounce by. Set embargo. I think what this would do is just ban a civ from trading with another civ. I don't think that would set a World Congress embargo. That's pretty interesting. But here we go then. Sami versus Finland. Please don't crash. I'm not saying anything. Well, I am saying things, but I'm not commenting on the game till at least we get through 1 turn. I'm touching wood. Or it's not really wood. My desk is kind of like that plasticky fake wood. But there we go. We made it through turn 1. Nothing. Super chaotic. This city immediately coming under heavy fire. But Finland mostly getting by in that first turn. Surviving. There's going to be so many areas in this battle. The city... Oh my goodness. So many Sami units launching an offensive on the city of Kaupang. This is going to be crazy. It's also going to slow down probably quite a lot, but still. Wow. We'll see how this goes. There's going to be planes flying all over the place doing battle. There's going to be naval carnage, as both sides have plenty of submarines and other boats, and lots of interlinking borders. Kaopang is the first city to change hands and then go back again. So the conflict well and truly begins, and it's beginning in the north as well. Lots of damage bubbles popping up. Helsinki, very close. It's not even that far from Sami territory. In fact, I think it's the closest capital. But there we go. Kaopang does fall back into Sami's hands. And that giant death robot has got to do it all itself if it wants to retake it. At least for now, if it wants to hold off the invaders. There's another one over there on that island. I'm not sure how best use that is for that city. But there we go. The death robot probably just sacrificed itself because it's going to die next turn. But there you go. This is going to be a huge conflict between the two. We can see this city here, Vanta, already under siege. It looks like Sami's making the better start, but they're taking damage. These units don't look too healthy at the moment, and plenty of areas where there's just no combat. Around Lund here, for example, as Kaopang falls again to Sami occupation. That is not a good start for Finland. Down there. Maybe we didn't give them long enough. Maybe the average was correct calculation. It's all going to go horribly wrong for Sami. But there is an attack on Tampere here. If they could pull off like a one-turn miracle siege here, they would kill a big chunk of Sami's air force and take out the 3 nukes. That would certainly ease a lot of concerns. This was, of course, the city that belonged to Finland that revolted, which is pretty rare. I think Vanta is now the next key city that we will have to keep an eye on. Ooh, Finland's turn. Oh, okay, that did not go well. Sami took it, but then Finland might take it back, which they did not. Repeal the embargo of Sami passed. Finland voted nay, but they also voted yay to the other one 6 times. That was just ridiculous. Okay, well, they can now trade, but not with each other, so it makes no difference, really. Maybe that was a smart move by the Finns, but what is not going so well is this war. I had faith in Finland. Maybe we didn't give them long enough, but Copenhagen is now under threat as well. Seems the Sami... Oh, Tampere came very close to falling, but smartly they moved all their nukes and stuff away. Okay, Finland. Lot of hope on you right now. I don't know, has the soldiers gone up? No, the average has dropped massively. As has, well, yeah, 130,000 down. Sami have lost about 100k as well, or about just over 10% of their troops. I imagine Finland is facing the same sort of losses, if not worse. So this could be quite a rough one for them, especially if they were to lose Copenhagen here. Just about okay for another term, but yeah, losing Copenhagen would be big. That would isolate some of these other western Finland cities. They still seem to be okay in this region. To be fair, this force is getting weakened. You know, if they can defend Copenhagen here with the death robot and these other units, kill some of these marines in the water, that's most of the force that was troubling them down here dealt with. So then you can focus on the heads-on battle, but there is not many units left for the defense. And yeah, Eidsvoll here seems doomed, and Helsinki is scarily next down the line. Bit worrying. Finland does have this huge navy, but they're not contributing. If they were up here, they would be doing damage, you know, sinking land units, destroying boats, but they're just, I guess they're too scared and trying to protect these cities, which is actually a bad move, and it's going to cost them big time, as Eidsvoll did not fall that turn. Somehow, despite the great defense, okay, they took it back. That was a big turn. They took back Copenhagen, Kaopang, and Vanta in the same turn. This is Finland's darkest hour. They just pulled off a miracle. That's incredible. I did not see them getting any of those cities back, but there you go. I mean, maybe Copenhagen. I didn't think Copenhagen would fall, but it did, and they got it back. But also to get Kaopang back as well. Now you've got a load of stranded units. Copenhagen does fall again, and it's cost them just about everything to both sides down here in the battle. For Copenhagen, as Eidsvoll does fall to Sami, and yeah, there's no way Finland gets that one back. Espoo here is also taking hits, I assume, from some planes. Vanta is once again surrounded, but yeah, look, if you giant death robots can retake cities in difficult spots, that seems to be what we've learned here but it is then destroyed. Another sacrificed giant death robot as Sami continues to make good progress in this conflict. What a first part to this crazy war. Probably one of the biggest wars we've ever had, where we're going to force them to go to the end, and it's not crashed. So it's exciting from that perspective. Sami's turn. Which cities will they be adding to their collection this time? It doesn't look like they'll get any, as Kalpang did take a bit of damage. That death robot got a bit of a hit, and Finland retakes Copenhagen and Vanta again, although they are increasingly more surrounded, it appears, with units. There's just so many challenges for them. I mean, this air force has now been bravely positioned here by Sami, which gives them great range over Finland's main cities. Stockholm could be next to face a threat as well. There's one marine, these wounded 2 marines, facing down a huge army. But can they do it? Can there be some heroics? We saw Sweden defend with some heroics in this territory. Maybe Finland can do the same. But there we go, the city of Vanta once again under Sami control. But there's a bit of a new force built up around Espoo here. But Helsinki has now also got tanks at its doorstep. Oh no, Finland. Oh no. I feel like we're going to get maybe another episode of tense warfare like this, and then obviously eventually they just collapse. You know, it happens. They throw everything at it, surviving, and then, you know, you get to this point where there's just empty cities, and it's just an onslaught. As we see Helsinki down to half health, that would be a huge blow to Finland this early on. To lose Helsinki, come on Finland. I'm rooting for Finland. Nothing against Sami. I've liked Finland's storyline. If you're rooting for Sami, best of luck to them. But this is cool, and I would like Finland to obviously... We got to root for the underdog a little bit here. I think Finland has definitely been that in these early turns. So we'll see. Will Stockholm fall? No, not quite, although it is very close to falling. But Sami's turned their attention towards Sigtuna, which, you know, there's always a chance they pull it back. It's unlikely, but there we go. Stockholm. They're still doing damage to Tampere. I don't know how they're doing that, because I don't see that many planes around, but they're still doing it. We'll see what Sami can achieve this turn. I feel like Stockholm will drop. They have been kicked out of Kalpang and Copenhagen, and maybe this city would fall too with some planes in it, but there we go. Stockholm does fall to Sami, the first capital. Well, they briefly held Copenhagen there, but Stockholm, capital number 2 in the quest for a domination victory. And I think the rest of maybe this Swedish territory might start to get taken over pretty quickly. It does look like Finland. Okay, is Sami going to move their planes? Surely. They've been playing it a bit brave by putting them in these unique cities, and they might get punished here if half of them moved. Finland just failed. Oh, that would have been a huge victory. If they'd have taken this, it would have allowed all these units to pour up north. So that's a shame. But they have held off. They held Helsinki and Espoo. This sort of resurgent build of land units has just about kept them going. This is hectic right now. Lots of key battles. Maybe losing in some areas to win in others. Maybe that's Finland's early strategy, and it seems to be working as Sigtuna, yet very quick, falling to the Sami. This could be a concern. If they lose sort of this Swedish territory very quickly, then obviously the Sami can set their sights on other areas. Espoo, Helsinki, probably going to be defended the most fiercely. But yeah, if they come through Sweden, maybe come down this way, they could split Finland's forces. That's not what Finland want to be coming up against in this one. Let's have a little look. Militaries. The average has picked up a little bit from 530 to 560. Sami have also rebuilt a little bit, maybe repaired about 50,000 troops. So that will obviously help the average. But yeah, they're both essentially going to be in like war economy mode right now, just spamming out units to fight this. Our little Lund here has been cut off altogether, that's sad. Bergen could also be next, which would kind of cut off, yeah, it would cut off these western Finnish cities entirely. Linköping, Lund, well Lund is already cut off, but Oslo, Kalpang, Copenhagen, Aarhus, and some of these are puppets, which really hurts because they can't build units out of puppets. Actually, that's probably hurting them a lot. Tallinn, I didn't think of that, but it takes so long, and there's no guarantee they'd annex. I mean, it applies here as well. Trondheim's a puppet, Tromsø, it's like 40 population cities. There is some rebels in Sami who have somehow got their hands on helicopter gunships, but there you go. I'm sure Sami can defend against or deal with those, you would hope. But that is going to be it for this episode. We'll be back to continue this huge battle. It's pretty cool. We don't normally get like the modern warfare scenarios, so this is pretty cool. Hope you're enjoying it. If you have, be sure to leave a like and a comment down below. Be sure to subscribe as well if you are new to the channel, and I'll see you in the next one.